to jump in because, as you mentioned, while the president was speaking, Donald Trump was also taking to the podium. You are looking at a live picture of him right now holding a rally in Ashburn, Virginia. This is just outside of Washington. The Republican doubling down on his claim that the political system is rigged. Remarks that echo what he told Fox's Sean Hannity when he said there may be something more sinister at play in this election. Watch.
And I'm telling you, November 8th, we better be careful because that election is going to be rigged. And I hope the Republicans are watching closely or it's going to be taken away from us.
All right. I'm afraid the election is going to be rigged. What do you make of him pushing this?
Well, it's already happened to a certain extent. I mean, look what happened in Virginia. Terry McAuliffe, a lifelong Clinton ally, allowed 200,000 ex-cons, felons, to suddenly become voters in the election. I mean, 200,000 votes is nothing to sniff about. I mean, you can argue that already in daylight, it has been rigged in Hillary's favor by at least the allies of Hillary Clinton around the nation. That's just one example. I would like to hear, sometimes he puts something out there, he doesn't have all the facts to back it up, and then he gets the facts later.
Well, but I mean, look at what the Bernie Sanders supporters just went through. I mean, at the convention last week in Philadelphia, I mean, their anguish and their sadness was palpable, and we still don't know how the majority of those people are going to vote. I mean, I talked with many people on the convention floor that were absolutely planning on either not voting or maybe considering what else is out there. Maybe a third party.
Jill Stein. And by the way, something else interesting is happening here. Do you realize how Hillary Clinton allies in the press are not talking about Jill Stein at all, but they're really ginning up Gary Johnson, because the hope is that if mainstream outlets start to talk about the Libertarian nominee, Gary Johnson, it'll pull votes away from Donald Trump. They're not giving equal access to Jill Stein.
She's also a woman.
Well, also people. Yeah, and that does take away from Hillary Clinton's narrative, and she's also someone who's going after Hillary Clinton, exciting those Bernie Sanders supporters.
Well, and Gary Johnson could be a great choice for somebody who did like Bernie Sanders. They agree on a lot of the same things, except for, of course, economics and how money works and those minor details. But in terms of coming from outside the system and, in terms of, even Second Amendment type of things, civil liberties. So I don't think it's going to necessarily be, if you don't vote for Trump, vote for Gary, it's only going to take votes away from Trump. I think they can take a lot of votes away from Hillary.
But they have other choices. They do. There are
let's talk about the trend in the polls.